Welcome to Seattle, Lumen Field, the site for Tacoma Defiance and LAFC 2 to kick off this Saturday in match week 19. Perfect weather in Seattle. It's the home of the Seattle Seahawks and the 12th man, and for the first time, Tacoma Defiance hosting a game in this stadium, and they welcome their California rivals in the Western Conference, LAFC 2. Josh Appel with you. Thanks so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. This is the appetizer in Seattle before the first teams, Seattle Sounders and LAFC, go head-to-head later on tonight from Lumen Field. It's a closed-door game today, but these are two teams fighting for position in the Western Conference, meeting up once again in the 2024 season. Let's take a look at those Western Conference standings in MLS Next Pro. There you see Tacoma in 5th place, 1 point ahead of LAFC 2, who sits there in 6th with 1 game in hand. Both these teams trying to chase down Vancouver, Ventura right above them. If Tacoma wins this match, they'll pull within a tie for 3rd place against Ventura County. Let's take a look at our starting 11s. First for Hervé Diesse and Tacoma. Di Rosario, who scored against Vancouver in the 4-1 win last week. Second on the team in goals with 6. He starts out up top. Jacob Castro makes his 12th start in goal. Sousa, Nathan, Lopez, and Bo in the back 4. Kosariense and Kirahara, defensive midfielders, with Tevis coming down from the first team, Brunel and Aquino, who scored a brace against Vancouver in the attacking mid. And for Junior Gonzalez and LAFC 2, the lineup in a 4-3-3. Luis Mueller coming off injury. He's not quite 100% yet, but he's out there today next to Nicholas Sullivan, who's been a good signing out of Cal State San Bernardino. His 3rd match with LAFC 2. Wibowo, who leads the team in goals with 7. Ochoa in goal. Berman and Diaz, new signings for LAFC. The 15-year-old Sanders on the back line as well with Shakir Nixon. Diego Rosales, the captain. He's surrounded by Radoviz and Jaime. Just about ready to get things started here from Lumen Field in Seattle, one of the top sports venues in America. And today it plays host to Tacoma Defiance and LAFC 2. William Hale is our referee. Assistant referees are Matthew Schwartz and Boubacar Jalot, with Aiden Velasco, the 4th official. LAFC 2 lost back-to-back matches 4-0, but since then they've responded well, securing 7 of a possible 12 points since those 2 defeats. Tacoma's 6-1-1 at home this year, but it's the first time, like I said, they've hosted a match here at Lumen. 4 straight victories for Tacoma after 4 consecutive losses. No Batache, no Daroma, both not selected to the matchday roster this afternoon. So Tacoma will have to go at it without him. And we're underway. Wibowo controls for LAFC, who's in the white today. Trouble on the right side. That's Adrian Sanders, the 15-year-old. But LAFC able to reset. Down the left side. It's Mueller trying to get around the corner, and does. Mueller out in front, and almost an own goal, but deflected wide by Travian Souza. That was a little bit too close for comfort there for Tacoma, but it results in a corner. You already see the type of playmaking ability that Mueller has. A bit too close for comfort there with Sousa. Jaime, who assisted on a goal in the game against Ventura last week. Wibowo scored. His team leading 7. Goes over the touchline for a throw-in. This LAFC team actually traveled with the first team to Seattle this weekend. Again, the first teams will play later on tonight. Junior Gonzalez said that the team plans to finish this match, go back to the hotel, get ready, come back and support the first team later on tonight. A 1-1 loss in penalties last week against Ventura for LAFC. Junior Gonzalez said it was good to get opportunities early against them. Felt like they had good rhythm, but got hit in transition. And that cost them a goal. And this is a very young team. We mentioned Sanders, 15 years old, playing on the back line. One of the 3 youngest teams in MLS Next Pro this season. And Junior said, sometimes with a young team, they can get rattled a bit, which happened, but they settled back in. He'd like to see a little more vertical running today and finish in the attacking third. But overall was happy with the effort by his team against Ventura. Wibowo, great pass ahead for Jaime. Jaime with a chance towards the back post, and he missed everything. Mueller chases it down, working against Blake Bowen. Bowen trying to box him out along the goal line and wins the corner. Does Mueller. So a really good start here for LAFC in the first few minutes. It's a great ball from Wibowo to Jaime, who got behind Kalani Casarienzi. Here comes the end. Well, I thought it was going to be an in-swinging corner, but they go short with it. Now it's whipped in towards the back post. Great ball sent in front and cleared away. Radovic just couldn't get it on frame. It's a beautiful ball angling towards that back post. You see Radovic starting to make his run unmarked. Just couldn't put it on target. But it will be another corner for LAFC. LAFC 8-5-3, Tacoma 9-7-1. Comes in, cleared away. But kept alive. Wibowo, long distance, right into the gut of Jacob Castro. Nearly gave it away. And so Tacoma has to hurry up and get it downfield. Now it's controlled by Dylan Tevez of the first team with the Sounders. Christopher Aquino had a brace against Vancouver in the 4-1 win. Back-to-back games scoring 4 goals for Tacoma, a 4-3 win against Sporting KC2, and then on the road at Vancouver, a 4-1 victory 6 days ago. And a foul is called. Snyder Brunel draws the whistle. Emerald Queen Casino pitch at Lumen Field. Closed door match to start the day before the 2 first teams will go at it later on. Mueller takes a shove from behind. Play continues, that's a foul. Interesting, coming into today, LAFC the 3rd least fouled team in MLS Next Pro. Mentioned Tacoma's scoring output the last 2 matches. They've also done an excellent job defensively. Throw away the Sporting KC game in which they conceded 3 goals. The other 3 against Real Monarchs and Timbers 2, a couple of clean sheets, and then of course only 1 conceded against Vancouver. The Whitecaps went down a man a week ago. Noon Pacific time start, so you got to wonder if that might be playing into things. A slow off the jump for Tacoma. LAFC has come out strong against them, forcing another turnover. Rosales, the captain, gets it ahead. Now left side, Mueller. Mueller still conditioning his way back, coming off of an injury. Four goals and 2 assists for 91 in white. Shakir Nixon fighting for space with Tevez, and Nixon gets around him. But his pass was deflected and Tevez recovers. Blake Bowen. Now Nathan. One of 4 first-teamers in the starting 11 today for Tacoma. Di Rosario. Scored last week, has 6 on the year. To the outside. Kino left it for Cosorienzi. Trying to go to the top of the 18 for Brunel, and he commits the foul. Play back towards the keeper, Castro, and he will reset things to Nathan. First 9 minutes of this match have been controlled by LAFC as Tacoma tries to navigate a slow start. Brunel fighting for position along that left touchline, gets it back into the middle. Tevez towards goal, now into the middle. Di Rosario left it back. Here's a chance, it's blocked. The shot from Cosorienzi. Now Christian Jaime. Christopher Jaime, a goal, 4 assists, leads the team in the assist category. Sousa trades with Tevez. Cosorienzi. Now Kitahara. Nathan resets. Talking with Junior Gonzalez just about his team's defensive play as of late. Obviously only conceding the 1 goal in the last match against Vancouver, against Ventura. Prior to that, conceded 4 against St. Louis. And then of course we mentioned earlier the back-to-back 4-0 defeats in June. He said we have to take pride in our individual defending and structure. Talked about 15-year-old Adrian Sanders at center back and how he's still coming into his own. They got Nielsen, who's a bit older, more experienced, but he only played 1 game before getting nicked up. Tevez. Now Di Rosario trying to split two and takes one down instead. Shakir Nixon, who took a spill. Sanders was the other. He said, you know, they've struggled at times playing against teams that are more direct. They have to get better at the physical side of things as well on the defensive end. A lot of learning this year for this LAFC team, which is one of the youngest in MLS Next Pro. Nathan to the outside. Tried a one touch, but that touch wasn't good enough. And Ochoa has it for LAFC 2. Di Rosario for Kitahara. Comes to Souza. Now back to Kitahara. And whatever the idea there from Kitahara did not work out. The 15-year-old Adrian Sanders. Pass intercepted. Tevez to the outside. Kitahara. And Tacoma almost turned it over, but able to get it back. Christopher Aquino. Sousa. Tevez. Pass behind. Bowen. Watched closely by Eddie Baruman. New signing on Wednesday for LAFC 2. Now it's Nathan again for Sousa. Tevez has been active in the first 15 minutes. Seems as though Tacoma has settled in a little bit. They've had more possession as this game was worn on, but the first 8-9 minutes of this match dominated by LAFC. Bowen goes down. Ball taken away and then regained. Some of that physicality maybe that Junior Gonzalez was referencing. This portion of the match is brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's. Download the McDonald's app today, and when the Sounders win, you will win a free McChicken the following day with a $2 minimum purchase only in the app. Love a McChicken. Although usually I go no lettuce, no mayo. Just the McChicken. a double McChicken guy. If I'm feeling frisky, maybe a couple of fries. Always a large Coca-Cola. So if we're ever together, and we're ordering McDonald's together, now you know my order. Still no score here, 17th minute at Lumen Field. First time Tacoma is hosting a match here. Near turnover. And a throw-in should be coming. It looked like it went over the touchline, but no whistle, and LAFC has to fight to reclaim possession. This is Snyder Brunel giving off to Souza, who turns upfield. Now to the outside, Dylan Tevis, the first teamer. Left-footed cross, it's low. Sanders does a nice job with it. Nicely done by the 15-year-old. Kitahara wins it back for Tacoma. Nathan then took a spill, and that's a foul on Wibowo. This side, it's Sousa. For Tevez again, this game has really flipped on its head in the last 10 minutes. Tevez on the give and go. Rienzi, back post out in front, punched away. Ochoa aggressive, and he had to be. Whistle here and a foul on LAFC. Nathan, as Tacoma searches for its 5th consecutive win after 4 consecutive losses. Really, if you look at what led to those 3 consecutive losses, not 4, excuse me, it was 5 of 6 that they lost before this 4-game winning streak. 5 of those matches were on the road. An extended road trip for Tacoma, and it really took a toll, as it would for any team. But the staff really learned a lot about the players and how they handle adverse conditions, and to come out on the other side of it playing as well as they have. The coaching staff certainly proud. And there's some close games, all 3 decided by 1 goal during the 3-game losing streak. 3-2 at Ventura, 1-0 at home against St. Louis, and 2-1 at the Town. maybe getting a little over aggressive the last 10 minutes, trying to get 3 points instead of taking your chances in penalties and taking your 1 point at least. That's LAFC 2 and Mueller, excuse me. Threatens again. Tacoma played it well, and then a foul. A little forearm shiver to the midsection. LAFC now with possession, and they lose it right away. See Mueller maybe a step slow in his return from injury. He, along with a few others, signed first team contracts with LAFC for the rest of the season. This portion of the match is brought to you by Providence Swedish, official healthcare partner of Seattle Sounders FC. Sanders, the 15-year-old, tried to fit it into Ibowo but couldn't. Nathan stepped in front, but Jaime takes over. Mueller lost it. Tried to go 1-on-2, and Aquino came over and took it away. Mueller again. 25th minute. Tevez for Tacoma. Cosarienzi for Nathan. Jaime. Looks like Tacoma has a player hurt. Let's see if LAFC can take advantage. Out in front, they do! It's Tamir Radoviz. And LAFC, who got out to such a flying start at the beginning, finally cashes in about a little bit halfway past the halfway mark in the first half. A turnover. Then Brunel came up a little bit gimpy. Wibowo found Radoviz, and he did not miss from there. So 1-0 on the right of his goal. In the 26th minute, his second of the season. Giveaway again by Tacoma. Throw in coming for LAFC. Well, outside of about an 8 to 10 minute stretch, have been the better team in this first half. I believe Tacoma's playing with 10 at the moment as Jaime just bends it wide. Take one more look, nearly made it 2-0. So Snyder Brunel, who looked like he hurt himself on the Radovic's goal. He gives way to Georgie Manungu. Kitahara. Manungu crosses one in and earns a corner. Again, these two teams separated by 1 point in the Western Conference standings. Both in a playoff spot. If this result holds, LAFC would jump Tacoma into 5th place. The Town hanging on to that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. 4 back of Tacoma. It comes out in front, and a deflection off of his own man. Ochoa able to handle it. All the way in on Castro. This portion of the match is brought to you by Puyallup, tribe of Indians, a tribe known for being generous and welcoming to all people. Sent in front, Sanders in good position to clear it away. Foul given as Aquino went down, and a free kick coming from a pretty advantageous spot for Tacoma to try and get this game level at 1. Here it comes towards goal. Knocked down in front by Ochoa. Aquino finds Tevez in the middle. Tevez turns, fires! Pure class from Dylan Tevez. And Tacoma levels it at 1. One more look. Aquino. LAFC lost track of Tevez, who turned and sent it upper 90 left side. No chance for Ochoa. And now each team has gotten on the board in this first half. Jaime trying to answer right back for LAFC 2. Mueller. Now sent in front. Wibowo fires, blocked away, never got all the way through. Nixon aggressive coming over. Off the throw-in, Sanders kept it alive. Radovic went down. He's the goal scorer today for LAFC. And the free kick will be taken by the captain, Diego Rosales, the only player for LA to start and play in every match so far this season. Nixon. Rosales. And LA turns it over. Clearance took a deflection and allowed LA to keep it alive. Rumen. Resets it. Nixon. Wibowo. Wibowo, team leader in goals, to the inside and cleared away by Bowen. Tevez, nifty little flip, able to get possession for Tacoma. Oh, the jersey by Sanders, no call, now they keep going. Oh, what a pass ahead, around the keeper, and depositing it home! Off the bench, Georgie Manungu. And in a matter of a few minutes, Tacoma scores twice, and they take a 2-1 lead at home. One more look. Sensational ball from Cosa Rienzi. Ochoa, incredibly aggressive, and Manungu. Almost like an old school MLS shootout. Able to get around the keeper, Ochoa, and roll one in for the goal. So 2-1 Tacoma in the latter stages of this first half. Radovic, who scored the goal for LA, earns the corner. box cleared by Tacoma. Taken back by Jaime. Ran into a wall of 3 Tacoma players, but it's turned over again. Mueller now has a go and missed everything. Referee wags his finger, says no foul. Now Wibowo. 1v1. Gives it back for Nixon. Pops into the area. Header comes wide. Turned over, Manungu. Manungu goes down, edge of the 18, let's see. Tacoma thinks it's in the box. Oh, and a red. The red is shown, Christian Diaz. He's being sent off. Late in the first half, LA will play down a man for the rest of the day. Diaz trying to plead his case with William Hale, who shows him the red and says, your day's done. One more look. That is very close to being inside the 18, but it looks like the foul occurred just outside, and William Hale, with no hesitation, showed the red, and Diaz is out of here. And so for the second straight match, Tacoma will have the benefit of playing against a team down a man. It's been all downhill for LA since Radovic scored in the 26th minute to put LA up 1-0. In the 33rd and then in the 36th, Tevez and Manungu scored to give Tacoma the lead. And now in the 40th minute, a red issued to Diaz. And so a free kick from about a foot outside the box. Aquino stands over it for Tacoma. They've scored 4 goals in back-to-back games. They're halfway to that number late in the first half. Aquino will have a go, and the save is made, and a corner's coming. Rienzi. His ball into the box was deflected. Manungu has the second goal. Spins. Manungu resets it for Rienzi. Kidehara. Di Rosario. Weaves towards the middle. Di Rosario. Sousa, cross, back post, nobody home. And it's a throw-in for LAFC. Mueller trying to outrun Tacoma. Mueller lost it. He's just not fully himself, and Gonzalez said, don't expect him to be 100%, Lewis Mueller. That has certainly proven to be the case today. Sousa. Rienzi. Manungu. Weaving through everybody. Manungu. Too strong on that last touch. Aquino tees it up. Save made by Ochoa. And a corner here in the 43rd minute. Off the corner. And another one coming. Manungu, he has one. Manungu cleared away by LA. Good positioning there. Remember, LA playing down a man, down a goal. Mueller takes it away. Time winding down in the first half. Three goals scored in a 10-minute span. LA went up 1-0, and then two straight in a 3-minute span from Tevez and Manungu. Nixon trying to respond for LA. And a throw-in. Mueller going to work. Radovitz tried to center it, but the pass eluded. And here's Kirihara for Aquino. 3 minutes of added time in the first half. LA playing down a man. A red card issued in the 40th minute to Christian Diaz. Tacoma looking for its 5th consecutive win. And it's on the table for them as they close out this first half. And will play up a man in the second. Already with the lead. Manungu lost it. And a whistle and a foul. That hit the referee. Apologies for laughing, but I can't imagine that felt very good for William Hale. Though he wore it like a champ. Away by Antino Lopez. Taken Taken back, though, by LA. Long range. We're tied! You want to talk about sensational. Eddie Baruman with a laser. And we're level at 2 in stoppage time in the first half. Signed on Wednesday and onto the score sheet, off the post and in.
There's an LAFC 2 goal scored by number 73, Eddie Baruman.
Manungu. Kirihara out in front. Oh, how did he miss that? Osaze Di Rosario missed everything on this golden chance. Oh, and the surrender Cobra immediately. What a half. And there is the final whistle in an entertaining first half here from Lumen Field. 2-2 our score at the half. LA playing down a man, but Baruman tied it up in the 48th. And we are heading to halftime. Coming up, the MLS next All-Star events are taking place early next week. We'll preview the festivities from Columbus when we return. Welcome back to Lumen Field in Seattle. Tacoma and LAFC 2 knotted up at 2 at the half. MLS Next Pro Goalie Wars returns to MLS All-Stars Skills Challenge, presented by AT&T on Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The keepers have been selected, so let's show you who the 4 competing in Columbus will be and the matchups.
Champion. How about it? It's... 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 I want to silence that home crowd, you know? I think I want to keep Columbus quiet and I want to take on Stas.
Hello and welcome to the official Goalie Wars selection show. I am your host, Aaron Burrell. These players will be competing for a one-of-a-kind championship belt. Is what's on the line. We like it. It's a beautiful belt. Let's get to know some of this year's participants. The hometown hero, Stas Lopkis. Jean-Antoine from Chattanooga FC. Will the belt stay down in North Carolina with Chituro Odunze? The Frisco kid hoping to bring the belt back to Texas, Michael Colodi. The number one seed for this year's Goalie Wars is Michael Colodi of North Texas SC.
It's a big honor, and I think being kind of acknowledged as that is something that I'm taking a lot of pride and super proud of, and honored to be chosen as that.
Who will you select?
My decision, I think I want to silence that home crowd, you know? I think I want to keep Columbus quiet and I want to take on Stas.
It feels exciting, man. It's obviously a great opportunity to play in front of a home crowd, and I think it'll give me a lot of power and strength, and not every day get to play against an opponent from the other conference.
Not to be forgotten about the other matchup, Jean and Chituro.
I'm excited. Last time we played, he won. Something I'm looking forward to, you know, to get him back because he got one of me already.
It should be a good game. Of course, last time we did get the win, but he made some big stops in the game, so love to see it.
The 1 and 2 hour 3-4 matchup features two clubs in the Southeast. Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Make sure you do not miss out because I promise you, this is going to be an event for the ages. Thank you all for joining us. This has been the official Goalie Wars selection show.
These keepers are competing for a one-of-a-kind custom championship belt on Tuesday night. The MLS Next Pro content team caught up with the belt maker for an in-depth look at this year's title.
In my head, just score this and you win the belt. So I took a deep breath, focused on my accuracy, and yes, Isaac Walker, the new champion. How about this? How about this? How about this? Come on now.
So I got into championship belts when I was a kid. I was a big wrestling fan in the 80s, and I used to love watching the championship belts on TV. And I used to draw them on paper. My name is Andrew Lazarchik, and I am the owner of Wildcat Championship Belts. In 2005, I officially started Wildcat Championship Belts, where we started making authentic title belts. I would make wrestling title belts for small wrestling promotions, or anybody else that really needed an award. In 2007 was when we got our first big break, when Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs called us, and they needed a title belt for their hot dog eating competition, and they needed it quickly. So we agreed to do that, got it done very quickly, and we've made that title belt every year since 2007. We started working with WWE at that time too, and we started making some of the belts for WWE in 2007. It's grown. We make belts for anybody that needs a unique award. That's how we kind of grew the business into what it is today. When I started Wildcat Championship Belts, it was a part-time gig for 15 years. I'm not an overnight success. It was a lot of work. You know, you talk about your 10,000 hours of practice. You know, I've had my 10,000 hours of practice.
Last year's Goalie Wars belt was designed by Wildcat Championship Belts and was a big hit with fans and players alike. This year's belt has been modified with new changes that catch the eye.
The idea behind the belt is it almost has arrows on it, kind of graphically interpreting kicking the ball as hard as you can into the goal. So that was kind of the first concept we came up with, and then we tweaked it to get it to where it is now. This year we used the arrow branding that MLS Next Pro uses as the side plates, as well as the location. This year it's Columbus, Ohio.
MLS Next Pro and Wildcat Championship Belts have collaborated to bring another world-class belt to life with an in-depth process.
Whenever we make our title belts, everything's custom made by hand. It has to be drawn out, cut out, tooled individually by hand. Each little mark in the leather is a hand-tooled stamp. As far as the plates go, that's all custom designed from scratch. It's not mass-produced, gold-plated, nickel-plated in the MLS Next Pro case. They're then painted by hand right here in our workshop. We paint them by hand and then assemble it here, assemble the plates onto the leather, glue the backing on, and we have a finished product.
With this year's belt, there's a focus on graphical elements that make the belt unique.
We knew that we wanted to somehow graphically interpret the soccer game as part of the design, but there's a tangible element of soccer that we kind of were able to graphically interpret. So we try to do that with branding or with something as literal as soccer or fantasy football, that kind of thing. We have to mesh that with the classic idea of what a championship belt is to look like.
It takes thousands of hours to become a champion, which is why Andrew's motto is no days off. It's a motto that recipients of his belt can relate to.
The coolest part about having these belts go to winners and champions is knowing that they earned it. Last year when Isaac Walker earned that title belt, he'd throw the belt over his shoulder and he was very proud because he was a champion and he earned it. That's the coolest thing, to be able to help people that they've done the work, they've done the hard work to become a champion, but until you have that title belt strapped around your waist or over your shoulder, that's when you're really a champion. If you do the hard work, you put the time in, you put the effort in, you can become a champion, and we can help you do that.
Andrew's dedication to his craft comes through in all of his work. He's determined to share that passion with the next generation as well.
If I can, share that passion with others by helping them become a champion, whether it's with a title belt or with our Little Champs program that we started, where every year we donate a portion of the proceeds, portion of the profits to Toys for Tots. And we've donated over 1,500 toy championship belts to kids since we started doing this. Now we're donating funds to our local school district to help the school district with buying things for the classroom. And those kids will eventually have a passion of their own. And hopefully whatever funding that we can help with will grow their passion to what they want to do with a career. So it's more than just making title belts and making a living. It's really following your passion.
Saturday, July 27th, the reigning MLS Next Pro champion will face the champion from Liga Expansión MX. In the 2024 MLS Next Pro Invitational, Austin FC 2 will host Cancun Football Club at Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tickets will go on sale to the public on Monday, July 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern at SeatGeek.com. Fans can watch for free on MLSNextPro.com. That's July 27th, 9 p.m. 2-2 at the half from Lumen Field. Tacoma and LAFC 2 in a barn burner after 45 minutes. And let's take a look at how we got to this point. Nobody could break through. until about the halfway mark of the first half, but LAFC got on the board first on this feed to Radovitz. And about 7 minutes later, Dylan Tevez, the first teamer, took a feed in the middle of the box, turned and fired it upper 90 to level the game at 1. 3 minutes later, a breakdown defensively and an over-aggressive David Ochoa. On a great ball ahead as well from Aquino to Manungu. Goes around the keeper, rolls it in. Manungu came in as a sub in the first half for an injured Snyder Brunel. This was the red card on Christian Diaz in the 40th minute, just outside the penalty area. So LAFC down a man, but Eddie Baruman just signed on Wednesday, so we're not going to go down quietly. This one from long range, off the post and in, tied it at 2 in stoppage time of the first half, and that is where we stand right now, 2-2 at the half. Here are our first half stats. Shots about even, 2 more shots on target for Tacoma. See the pass accuracy, Tacoma's been a lot more on target. Other than that, you see the red card. See how that affects things in the second half. Tacoma, for the second straight week, playing up a man for a full half. We are just about ready for half number 2 from Lumen Field. The 2 first teams will play later on today in the same stadium. This one a closed-door game. Of course, Sounders and LAFC will play in front of a packed house. So Lewis Mueller's day is done. Javier Hernandez enters for him. Great momentum boost and morale lifter. The goal before the end of the half for LA, but playing down a man for the final 50 minutes of the match will certainly be no easy task on the road against the team the quality of Tacoma. They played so well on this 4-game winning streak. Goal scorer Baruman. Errant pass goes over the touchline for a throw-in for Tacoma. Feed was deflected. Can Manungo get there in time? And Ochoa swatted it away. Ochoa has been extra aggressive and it almost bit him for the second time today. Manungo turns upfield. He's got one of the 2 goals today. He's looking for a second but gets taken down. No call. Play continues. Manungu. Surveying his options, but he turned it over. And now it's Hernandez, bringing to the outside, Wibowo. LAFC playing down a man, Wibowo for Jaime. Jaime to the outside. Towards goal, deflects, sitting on the goal line, and they score! Unbelievable! Nicholas Sullivan took the initial shot, and then Wibowo cleaned it up. Castro looked to make the save. It was trickling behind him. It sat on the goal line, and then Wibowo tapped it in for his team-leading 8th of the year. Again, LAFC down a man, now leading by a goal. Eerily similar to the goal scored the goal that Wibowo scored last week that he was credited for. Wibowo sent one in. It sat and was carrying over the goal line, and Sullivan knocked it in, but it was Wibowo who got credit with the goal. This time, Sullivan takes the shot. It's sitting on the goal line. Wibowo cleans it up, but he will get credit for the goal. Wow, how this game has turned. Berman scored in stoppage time in the first half to nod the game at 2, and now Wibowo in the 49th minute here in the second half to give LA the lead. If you're Junior Gonzalez, you've got to love the fight from the group, going down a man, already down a goal on the road against a team playing as well as anybody in the league right now. Manungu tried to play it in the direction of Blake Bowen, but it rolled all the way to the keeper, Ochoa. How does Tacoma respond? Over the head of Tevez, who scored the first goal for Tacoma. This game was scoreless until the 26th minute. And now LA down a man looking for more. Tried the overlap, but nobody was home. Sullivan. Berman. A lot of space on that right side for Nixon. Leaves it for Wibowo, who scored the go-ahead goal, the third one of the day for LA. Left side, flag is up for offside, and it is. Rosario turned it over. Maybe wonder if frustration could be starting to set in for Tacoma. Certainly seems like the case there for Di Rosario, who's getting the yellow. Nungu earns the corner. That comes over the goal. Goal kick coming. Forward in midfield. Tacoma playing up a man, down 3-2 in the 58th minute, looking for their 5th consecutive win. They've conceded 2 goals, 1 at stoppage time and 1 at the beginning of the half, to fall down 3-2 after taking the lead 2-1. Berriman, who scored the tying goal in stoppage time. LAFC in tight quarters here, squirting out in front, but cleared away. Just wonder how long LA can cling on to this lead. Down a man on the road. Tevez. Nathan to the outside. His pass never got to Sousa, his intended target. Bowen. Sousa again. Manungu, he's got a goal already. Manungu has it back. Kitahara now leaves it. Tevez. Kitahara battling in the corner with Jaime. Nixon comes over to help. And this is a throw-in for LA. This portion of the match is brought to you by Regents Blue Shield. Together we health. So Jude Terry will enter. And coming off first goal scorer of the match, Tamir Radovitz. Looks like Tacoma is getting set to make some substitutions as well.
The three substitutions for your Tacoma Defiance. Leading the match, number 4, Nathan. Also leading the match, number 8, Chris Aquino. And number 95, Osase Rosario. Entering the match is number 83, Elias Gonzalez. 81, Gio Muteri.
So the three substitutions are as follows for Tacoma. Gio Miglietti in for Osaze Di Rosario, Yude Sukanome in for Christopher Aquino, and Enrique Katsaros in for Nathan. So three substitutions for Tacoma here in the second half. In the 63rd minute, they're down a goal, up a man here at home. Let's see if they can pull back level and maybe even take the lead. Or can LA improbably hang on to this lead? Bowen finds Sukanome out in front. Tevez tried to slide it. It's sitting there for a chance. The shot was blocked. Tacoma fell down on it. How did they not cash in there? It's the second time they've had a point-blank chance and come up empty. Tevez got around Sanders. Nixon did a great job falling back into the play. Calamity out in front, and a 3-2 score remains. Physical battle for it. Sullivan with space. Sullivan still has it. Sullivan out in front. It's 4-2 LA. They've scored 3 goals playing with 10 men. And this time it's Jaime who doubles the lead. 3 unanswered. Sullivan felt like he was surprised by the amount of space. Cosariense just flat out whiffed. And that opened the door for Sullivan to find Jaime. Wow. Jaime's second of the season. Sullivan continues to make a difference for Junior Gonzalez. And what a performance playing down a man. Now they've still got to hang on for another 25 minutes plus added time. But 3 goals on the road, down a man. And they've taken a 4-2 lead over a team above them in the standings that has won 4 matches in a row. Hope you took the over tonight. And a point to the spot, and a penalty is coming. Did the linesman the assistant referee just overrule this? That looks to be the case. Well, nothing going Tacoma's way right now. They had 2 chances on the doorstep they couldn't cash in on. One right before the 4th goal. And instead of a penalty, the call is offside. Beautiful ball ahead. Manungu trying to track it down. He does, then goes down, hops right back up. Manungu centers right to David Ochoa, though. This portion of the match is brought to you by Western Washington Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. LA has been playing down a man since the 40th minute. And that's now 4-3. Wild scenes in Seattle. Gio Miglietti off the bench onto the score sheet. And with just over 20 minutes to go, it's back to a 1-goal game. This is something that Junior Gonzalez said this week they've got to be better at, defending in their own box, being more physical, and that's just too easy on the cross to Miglietti. Snaps 3 unanswered for LA. And that's the 3rd goal in this second half. We've had 3. Check that, had 4 in the first half. 3 so far here in the second. It's been a wide open game. Miglietti's come off the bench and scored. Manungu's come off the bench and scored. Tevez has the other one for Tacoma. And now the pressure back on, just like that. Jaime, who scored the 4th LA goal. We're into the 70th minute. Jaime goes down, Tsukanome gets whistled for the foul. Bowen pressured by Sullivan. Tacoma almost feels a bit shell-shocked by what's transpired. Now let's see how they fight back. Let's see how LA responds on their end. Down a man, up a goal after extending their lead to 2. Popped into the area. Miglietti was closest to it, but Sanders did a nice job shielding him off, allowing Ochoa to make a play on it.
Doesn't matter. Should I use so mine are labeled. I'm just assuming that 2 is the color.
Chased down by Bowen. Bowen drags to the inside. Popped over everybody. Nixon working against Tevez, and that rolls over for a goal kick. Dylan Tevez will exit for Tacoma. Sebastian Gomez replaces him. '73rd minute. Foul on that far side. Nixon a little slow to get up. He's able to get up under his own power. Sullivan trying to work around Bowen, but Manungu ends up with it. Tsukanome. Now Tacoma resets. Lopez. LA's been down a man since the 40th minute. All they've done is score 3 of the next 4 goals to have a 4-3 lead. Can they hang on? Time will tell. Manungu, the cross, deflected over the goal line. This will be a corner kick for Tacoma. Diego Rosales is the one who got over. Another corner upcoming here for Tacoma. They come short. Tacoma threatening. And that's going to end up as a goal kick. And now in the 75th minute, we'll have a hydration break. (4-3). LA clinging to a lead over Tacoma on the road here from Lumen Field. LA's been playing down a man since the 40th minute. Got a lot of goals to recap for you, 7 of them. And here was the first. All the way back in the 26th minute, Radovic got on the score sheet, his second of the season, put LA up 1-0 after they dominated the majority of the first part of the half. 7 minutes later, it was Tevez, the first teamer, who would answer. Pure class, upper 90, 1-1. 3 minutes later, on a beautiful ball from Aquino to Spring Manungu, gets around the keeper Ochoa and deposits it home to make it 2-1 Tacoma. Now, remember, as you see this beauty of a goal from Berriman, LA was playing down a man at that point. That was the 45th minute plus 3 in added time. So we're still 2-2. And now Sullivan in the 49th minute finds Jaime in front. Correction, that was the 65th minute after LA had taken the lead 3-2 on a goal by Wibowo. This was the one that put him up 4-2. And then in the 68th minute, this cross by Tsukanome finding Miglietti, a couple of second half subs. And Tacoma has pulled within 1 as we approach the final 15 minutes here from Lumen Field. Kick gets us restarted again after the hydration break. Can Tacoma find the equalizer at home, or will LA hang on and potentially add to their advantage? Sullivan. But in! That's high. And a corner kick coming. And LA has not taken its foot off the gas. An excellent ball into the area by Jude Terry. Comes the corner, an outswinger. Wrestling for position, Miglietti was fouled. Manungu. Lopez resets for Sousa. Kirihara. '80th minute. If we're tied at the end of regulation will go to penalty kicks. Bowen. To the outside. Lopez working his way in, a little bit high, still not out of a dangerous area yet, fired high over the goal by Cosa Rienzi.
We have substitution for LAFC. Leading the match number 39, Nick Sullivan. Entering number 92, Emir Defiance.
Some confusion here over when and if the subs are allowed to come on. Sullivan looks to be coming off. He's played fantastic today. Amir Ponciano getting set to come on. So apparently Sullivan didn't get off the pitch fast enough. So Ponciano can't replace him yet. So now, already down a man, LA has to temporarily play with 9. Collision, and the foul is awarded. This portion of the match is brought to you by Umpqua Bank. '83rd minute. LA has been playing down a man since the 40th. And now, Amir Ponciano is allowed to come on for Nicholas Sullivan. Flipped into the area. And now Tacoma starting it the other way. Can they find the equalizer? Doesn't happen there. LA with possession again, trying to add on. LA trickles in front again. Try to be cleared, and Miglietti ward off the back over the goal line. This will be a corner. Well, Tacoma's all out of sorts. That could have been disastrous for Tacoma. Flag comes up, and it's Tacoma ball. LA's done a phenomenal job, not only hanging on, but adding to their lead to give themselves a bit of a cushion. But could this be the moment that Tacoma finds the equalizer? No. It's a goal kick. Tacoma thought it should be a corner. Manungu, he's had a strong game off the bench with a goal, and he's been involved in almost everything, and he earns the corner. Sousa pops one in, back post. Tsukanome couldn't get it on target. Manungu in the 86th minute as Tacoma searches for the equalizer, playing up a man. They've scored once since the 40th minute, since they started playing 11 on 10. Manungu, the cross, sits in front. Tsukanome trying to tee it up. He can't, it deflects, and then comes right back on goal to Ochoa, who falls on it. Throw incoming. Bowen. Now Kitahara. 77 versus 77 right there. Back post. Grabbed out of the air by Ochoa. 88th minute. Time starting to run out and become a real factor for Tacoma. At home at Lumen. Nearly a misplay that led to a chance. But Bowen has it for Tacoma. Bad pass intercepted. Amir Ponciano. Kitahara steps up. Kitahara to the outside. Manungu. The cross. Out in front. The header just high over the bar. Seems like this is the formula for Tacoma. Get it to the outside and whip it in. Try and get that deflection to tie the game. Physical battle along that sideline. Fouls called on Sanders. Towards the back post again. The header deflects off of LA, and this will be a corner. Just waiting how much stoppage time we're about to get. Rienzi leads to the outside. Deflected away. Turned over, yes it is. Jaime springing one ahead. Long shot, trickles wide. 6 minutes of added time. Miglietti. Kosarienzi. Foul call. Ochoa will send it away. Looks like LA's trying to get a sub in. Lopez. Top of the 18. Lopez again. Lopez, the cross out in front. Sent wide. Substitution for LA. Darbo will enter for this final few moments and replace the 15-year-old Adrian Sanders. Flipped in, headed away. Kosarienzi back with it. Manungu. Blake Bowen. Tsukunome to the outside for Sousa. Whipped in. Header! And they score! We are level at 4. The onslaught continued, and finally Tacoma cashes in. And they come back from down 4-2 to even it at 4. It's Enrique Katsaros, the third sub that has scored for Tacoma today. In the 3rd minute of added time. Now LA. Could something be brewing here? To the outside, Darbo misfires. Still a couple of minutes left before a penalty shootout. Tacoma might not be done yet. A heartbreaker for LA, a chance just a few minutes away from 3 points on the road. Instead, they got to cling and hope to give themselves a chance in a shootout. Manungu, his cross is stopped. It was 2-1 Tacoma, then 4-2 LA. Since then, Tacoma has come back to level it at 4. One more cross in, takes a second deflection, and LA is able to clear for the moment. Throw in coming for Tacoma. Manungu. Manungu trying to get around Darbo. And a corner. They've scored once in stoppage time to level it. Can Tacoma deposit a second to take the lead and win the game? Bowen gets it back. Bowen, cross, Bowen. Ochoa comes to get it. And there is the final whistle in regulation. We are heading to a shootout. What a game at Lumen Field. 4-4 after regulation. Each team earns a point. Who will get the extra one? We'll find out in a shootout.
Listen up, all eyes on me. I'll show you who you wanna be. Hey. Yeah, yeah, hey. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's going down, down. You don't want to miss that. It's the new sound. It's the new sound. It's the new sound.
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
So both teams have earned a point. Let's see who gets the extra one, but first, how did we get here? 8 goals in the match. A wild one here at Lumen Field. And this is what got it all started way back in the 26th minute. It was Radovitz. Feels like a lifetime ago that he put LA up 1-0. And then about 7 minutes later, the first teamer, Dylan Tevez, with his beautiful strike, leveled the game at 1. This great ball from Aquino, springing Manungu. An overly aggressive Ochoa was beat. Manungu put Tacoma up 2-1. After LA went down a man in the 40th minute, this is stoppage time in the first half. Berriman with a wondrous strike made it 2-2. And then Sullivan, his initial shot stopped, sitting on the goal line. Wibowo cleaned it up for his team leading 8th of the year. Sullivan wasn't done yet. Up 3-2, finds Jaime, 4-2 LA in the 65th minute. Remember, they are down a man at this point. Tacoma wouldn't go away quietly, though, at home. Great ball from Tsukunome. He was a factor off the bench. Biglietti scored to make it 4-3. And then, in the 3rd minute of added time, it was another substitution. Enrique Cazzaro scoring to level it at 4, and that is where we find ourselves now, heading into the penalty shootout. And it looks like LA will be the team to shoot first. Stepping to the line first for LA is Javier Hernandez. Against Jacob Castro. Hernandez, successful on his first try. Castro went right. Shot came in from the other end. Now it's Yu Tsukunome who will shoot first for Tacoma. Sukunome against David Ochoa. Hesitation, Ochoa guessed right, but Sukunome beat him. 1-1 after the first round. LA lost in a shootout last week. There have been a few instances this season where they haven't been able to get the extra point in a shootout. What a moment it would be if they can find a way today to come away with 2 points, given all the adverse conditions they've had to deal with. It's Adrian Boboa, the leading scorer, has one today, and he scores in the shootout. Now to the bottom of the second. Tino Lopez to the spot. Long run up and the save made. Ochoa. And 2-1 LA after 2 rounds. And a chance now to take a commanding lead in the shootout. Jude Terry to the spot. Terry squeezes it by. You could hear the deflection that Castro got on it, but he wasn't able to stop it, and it's 3-1 LA, and really a must-score situation here for Tacoma. Trevion Sousa. And Ochoa guessed right, but Sousa beat him. Tacoma still has life. After 3 rounds, 3-2 LA. Shakir Nixon. Castro would love a stop here. Long run up for Nixon. And he blows it by. LA still comfortably ahead, 4-2 in the penalty shootout. With all the confidence in the world, Nixon to take that one. Kolani Kosa Rienzi. If Ochoa denies him, the game is over. And he didn't look like he got all of it, but Kosa Rienzi buries it. And heading into the final round, Tacoma will need a stop by Castro and a goal on their end to keep it going. Darbo, who came on as a second half sub late, can win it in the shootout for LA. Darbo takes a deep breath against Jacob Castro. Darbo scores! Game over! LA improbably wins it. They earn the extra point in the shootout in a classic at Lumen Field in Seattle. Time to give you today's man of the match, brought to you by Adidas. And it's the man you just saw score the winner in the penalty shootout, Darbo. Easy does it for him. All the confidence in the world, blew it by Jacob Castro. LA goes 5 for 5 on penalties. And after going up 4-2, down a man, they concede their lead in added time. They earn the extra point in a shootout. And they come away with a huge result on the road. That'll do it for us here from Lumen Field in Seattle. It was a pleasure to bring this one to you. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Josh Appel. Once again, our final score, 4-4 after 90. LA takes the extra point after a shootout. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Good night, and we'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.